I'm Ronald Dwayne Whitfield, Sunday, 30, 2018, Houston, Texas. This to the First Court of Appeals of Texas against Judge John Phillips and the attorneys that have been appointed, and to the State Commission on Judicial Conduct as a complaint against Judge John Phillips, and to the Harris County District Attorney's Office, to any and all entities, political subdivisions of the state of Texas having authority to take action based upon the information will be set out herein. And this is also to the U.S. Department of Justice, to the United States Attorney General, to the Office of Inspector General of the Justice Department, to the United States Health and Human Services Office of Inspector General, as well as to the Secretary thereof, who is in the cabinet of the Honorable President of the United States, Mr. Donald John Trump. This is also to the United States Postal Inspector General, as well as to the Postmaster of the United States Post Office, and all authorities that have jurisdiction to investigate the allegations that will be presented herein at this time. For purpose of federal law, Title 18, United States Code, Section 1621, dealing with that the statements I make are true and correct and will not be misleading, and I realize that as to their materiality. On the civil side, I also make the same affidavit under Title 28, United States Code, Section 1746, Subdivision 2. And for purpose of Texas law and Texas Construction Code, I think that's going to be Chapter 311, dealing with what constitutes an indictment, and that an indictment can also, not an indictment, affidavit, and that an affidavit for purposes of Texas Civil Practice and Remedy Code, Section 132.001 et sequential, I am now making an affidavit, which you see that I'm making verbally, but this is also for purpose of Texas law. It can be, well, let me make it clear here. An affidavit under Texas law is to be in writing, but under our Texas Government Code, Chapter 311, an affidavit can also be verbally. Now, I, Ronald Dwayne Whitfield, say that I am a person of sound mind, competent, and acquainted with the statements that I am about to make. And I subscribe and I say that they are true and correct and not misleading. And as far as the address and date of birth, because of certain legal reasons, I think you all don't want litigants presenting their, like for a child, the child's name and address and things like that. So I won't state what my address is. The address is already on record in the First Court of Appeals of Texas. And as far as my age, I am 52 years of age. Now, under the United States Code, Chapter 42, Judge Phillips, CPS, Savannah Johnson, Rachel Johnson, Myron Evans. I don't want to say Paul Gonzalez just yet. He is also an investigator for CPS. Rachel Johnson, Harris County prosecutor, the Harris County attorney himself, Vince Ryan. The attorney, Emily Momberger, whatever her name is, but the attorney in this case that filed the petition violated Texas Rules of Civil Procedure, Rule 13, filing a baseless petition. They're all aware of the United States Supreme Court's decision on what those petitions must state, the facts. They know that. Must thought I didn't know. Now, um, I may not name, might is the correct word to use, everyone's name because, maybe there's a limit in making a live video. I don't know. But Rachel Johnson, Harris County Assistant Attorney, Emily Ann Momberg, however you pronounce her name, she is the one who filed the petition affecting parental child rights, and to terminate parental rights, however is style caption. I got those two. The county attorney got him Vince Ryan. Tanya Johnson, she was the investigator working the night, supervising investigator Paul Gonzalez, who was the investigator and caseworker on May 6th and 7th. So he arrived here at my house where I live on May 6th, and it went into around like 10 o'clock that night, and it went into May 7th. So the interview began on May 6th, which is Saturday, May 2017. His supervisor, Tanya Johnson, I'm only going to list Paul Gonzalez for purposes of identifying who he is and the FBI getting in touch with him. Tanya Johnson, Courtney Wilson, she's CPS investigators. Courtney Wilson, Myron Evans, CPS. They're supervisors. Okay, we got those. The attorneys, Oliver Sprout Jr., he's an attorney appointed by Judge Phillips. Judge Phillips has committed crimes. The names of the people that I'm naming, they've committed crimes. And this is also to the State Commission on Judicial Conduct for a complaint against Judge Phillips. This is also to the State Bar of Texas, to the Harris County District Attorney's Office, and everyone I said that would have authority to prosecute and investigate. On Monday, will we go into the FBI? I will make sure that this gets to the directors, everybody in Congress. I got a family to help me do this. And I can go knock on door. People help me get this to Congress. Okay. Now, so I guess I got the people who have committed the crime. So Judge Phillips, he's terrorized Texas. Just go on the wall of shame about him. Why he has been allowed to remain on the bench with the crimes that he has committed. Judge Phillips, the attorney Michael Craig, what's her name? Bonnie Fitch, and those other attorneys ad litem. I mean, Dexter. He's not him. I'm naming the ones that have committed the crime. There are other attorneys like John Miller. However his name is, he didn't commit a crime. So not everyone that's been in this case as attorneys have committed the crimes. This is what I'm trying to make clear here right now. Not everyone. Okay, so I stated the attorney that was appointed to represent our child. And anyway, because I'm coming in and I'm gonna have my cousins in California to help me get this to the director of the FBI. I should start about someone coming into my house and tried to kill my wife, but I want to show you. Here's a camera here. Someone probably through the alarm people. I don't know. But I do know I'll take a lot of tests, and Brandon will take one. But let me, at this time, from having named the accused or suspects, they're not accused yet, they are suspects for committing crimes. When a investigation has been completed and the FBI has a duty to investigate such crimes, and when the United States Attorney files what we call a complaint under Federal Civil Criminal Procedure Rule 3, it's called a complaint. It must be supported by probable cause, affidavit. And if so, then the Harris County, or rather the United States Attorney, has power to go before a grand jury and present everything and let the grand jury vote State Commission on Judicial Conduct. He has made unnecessary appointments. I'm not prepared to do this in an orderly way, but I'll do as best I can. On May 6th of 2017, CPS come here claiming that they received a referral alleging child abuse. Paul Gonzalez, all right, I'm recording. Hey, when Paul Gonzalez knocked on my door, let me take my time and get this right, starting at 10 minutes and 42 seconds gone by. Paul Gonzalez, investigator and caseworker, come here on May 6, 2017, just around 10 o'clock that night on Saturday. Knocked on my door. Hi, my name is Paul Gonzalez. He had 2 police officers with him. I'm just stopped by to see how your child is doing. That didn't sound normal to me. Fine. I asked him and the police to identify who they were to the doorbell. There is a, this is the camera and it's audio recording who they are. As long as there's movement out here, that's recording. It catches way over there, way over here. Now, the police, keeping in mind, got their body cameras. All right. He come in my house under false pretense, telling me he just dropped by to see how my child was doing. Since I've done nothing wrong, obviously, and nothing to hide, come on in. He talked to me. He was shown my child at the time had 2 cribs. He had a brand new bathtub. He has his brand new stroller, his brand new car seat. He has maybe, I don't know how much in food. And as Mr. Paul Gonzalez states in his affidavit, the house was clean, unlike now, because I ain't been asleep and I ain't done nothing other than from the time that they took my child. But I don't even have time to have sex with my wife that much. I don't want to do, I don't want it. The only thing I want to do is get my child. Now, that's just the way it is. You cease living and you just exist. You cease living and you just existing. I don't want to talk about the rationale for someone abusing their child and then insisting on being taken to jail, insisting on insisting that he go to jail. Now, back to the facts of this case. So after he look around, read his affidavit. Under Texas law, as it stood at the time, Texas Family Code, section 262.104, subsection A, subdivision 2, they lay out statutory law, the conditions under which CPS or anyone else acting under color law giving authority to remove a child can act. Paul Gonzalez's own affidavit, not Myron Evans, shows that he had no authority. He never abused any authority because he never had authority to move our child. He did not want to remove our child. For like after he conducted his interview and his investigation, he was ready to close it out. But he told me, I have to call my supervisor because she has the final say so. The police loved me. He loved me. He talked about my support for Donald Trump. I told him that when I was in prison, that one time they kept bringing me cellmates. And I explained to him that my confinement was unlawful and that one day I decided I just wasn't going to accept any more cellmates. And that based on that, one day they brought me a cellmate and I told him he's not coming in here. I'm not accepting any more cellmates. And if y'all put him in here, which they did, y'all gonna have to gas me every day. I'm trying to do my legal work. I'm tired of all these mentally ill patients you all are putting in here having me to babysit. I'm not a babysitter. I'm being distracted and whatever else I told him. I told him. So they did gas me with gas, chemical agents, and they did put him in. And I told them, whatever you do, you're going to have to do it every day. And so sure to my word, I made them gas me like 3 days every day for doing it. And that led, I was protesting that. I'm not going to deal with that. If I was lawfully in here and I proven that I was unlawfully in the Texas prison system. Go to the first court of appeals, you'll see there's no judgment. In 0192-00617 CR, there's no judgment. Therefore, the mandate is void. There's no judgment in the trial court on file. On file. I'm not talking about a judgment that happened to be up in the box where they keep papers, but on file. The way you know whether or not a judgment is on file is you look at the docket sheet and you see what has been filed. You will see a complaint was filed. You will see an indictment was filed. You won't see a judgment was filed, nor will you see a judgment entered in the minutes. Without that, I cannot be put to death. I cannot be transferred from the Harris County Jail to the Texas prison system and become an inmate. That will not happen in the United States. That's another story. So after I explained to him that one day the crazy doctor came by, hey, Mr. Whitfield, what the hell is going on here? You're making these officers gas you every day. What's going on? And I explained to the crazy doctor what the problem was. I explained here, look, man, I'm not in here lawfully. I'm not here to babysit all these prisoners y'all keep bringing to me. If you want to bring somebody, bring me a female up in here. Texas law does not give the director discretion to house females and male prisoners together, or he may separate them. That's his discretion. He chose to separate us. So, but that's his discretion. You want to bring somebody? Bring me a female. And I cited him the Texas Government Code. I think it's chapter 498, 497 of the Texas Government Code, giving the director of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice Institutional Division, or whatever it's now called, the discretion. When you see the word may, then that's discretion. Shall, must, will, mandatory. Now, he went on to ask me questions about, well, okay, Mr. Whitfield, do you have any history of any mental illness, or isn't one in your family have mental illness? And I told him no one in my family that I know of has any at the time. And maybe I don't know about now, but at the time, I don't know. No. And so he asked me, well, Mr. Whitfield, do you hear voices or anything? And I heard him say, Mr. Whitfield, in my mind, Mr. Whitfield, do you hear voices or anything? And I thought about all the skunks used to come by my window, the mother skunk and her babies, and I would give them food, and they be like they arguing with each other behind the food. And I'm like, I hear skunks, I hear trains, I'm hearing you. So I answered, yes, sir. He wrote that down. And because me, what you might would call being sarcastic, that allowed the system to label me as being paranoid and schizophrenic. And that has followed me all these years as being paranoid. The inmate says he hears voices. Again, he asked me, do you hear voices? He did not ask me, do you hear voices that other people do not hear? Had he said that, modified that with that clause, then I would have said, well, I probably would have said, I don't know what other people, hear. I'm just, law got me being like serious, because law make you, when you're arguing law, you're supposed to be strict, because when you read a lot of opinions, they tell you as far as in this country, I'm just not, let me not go there, but law is something else. It can mean something, can mean this, and in another context it means that. And so I've kind of adopted the way judges think, and I think like they do. So I told Paul Gonzalez what happened in prison. So he laughing, and I'm laughing. The police all laughing about what I'm telling them. I told him about people from Mexico taking our jobs and stuff, and we unemployed, and I would prefer to work. When he asked me about me supporting myself, my income, I told him I would prefer to work, but I receive a crazy check. And I told him that the crazy judge insisted on giving me a check because he said, damn, you had a rough ride in prison. So, because I explained to the crazy judge what the hell I went through up in there with these damn people. Paul Gonzalez is trying to convince his supervisor for about 4 hours that there's no child abuse here. I gave him my phone. I showed him that I had recorded what happened at the hospital. And there you'll see him. This is not child abuse. This is not true. This is you ought to see, I can see how he was looking at this here quietly and just looking at it. And wow, I'm out here, investigating a false report. And he's trying to convey this to his supervisor. She don't want to hear it. She wants this baby. The reason why she wants the baby because the states get billions of dollars Billions of dollars. She want a baby does not know who his parents are. My child at the time was 8 months old. They want that. They want my baby. They child abuse, no child abuse. They want him. Children that are old enough to know who their parents are can eventually return. A baby can't. So, but moving along, I'm doing it so the world will know what this was really about, this baby. And my child just happened to be beautiful. Unlike his dad, I'm not beautiful. But my child, because I started teaching my child from the day he come out the womb. I've been teaching, I teach him his prayers. I teach him his time. Day one, go on YouTube, go on Facebook, go on Twitter. I taught my child from that. So when I'm talking to my child, I use the word please, thank you. I'm courteous. I don't want my child, excuse me. My child will not say to me, huh, ain't, dad, yes, sir, no, sir. That's how you will respect your mom. That's how you will respect. So they all know that they know I get aggressive with them. They know when it comes to my child, I'm a totally different person. People determine my attitude. They determine how I have to respond. For example, if people talk, certain people, I don't act like I'm a comedian. I talk like my friend Everett. You know, he's a Harris County Sheriff Deputy. He's like always serious minded. So I have to deal with him. I have to can't use too many jokes, So I have to deal with people like if I'm dealing with, it depends. The person that I'm dealing with determines how I conduct myself. But if anytime someone is trying to thinking that I'm unwary or trying to, whatever they're trying to do, I'm going to pick up on it, and when I do, I will respond. 22 minutes now. So I just really kind of like shaping my character. I'm not what they trying to paint me out as being. I got good sense. I was raised by a judge, precinct judge, but nonetheless a judge. Back to the point. Paul Gonzalez, again, does not want to remove my child. He's trying to get his supervisor to not make him violate the law because he is going to be held liable in a suit at law. The Texas Family Code, Section 262, I think, .003. I think that's the one, I don't know, allows him to be sued. And a suit against him and his official character is a suit against the state of Texas. He's a Donald Trump supporter too. He doesn't want to do this. This man like me. The police like me. Go to my YouTube video. We don't want to take you to jail. Now the sergeant that come out, he hadn't been out here, so he had not saw me going back and forth in the house every 10 to 15 minutes checking on my child because I happen to know what child endangerment is. You cannot leave a baby for longer than, I think, 15 minutes unattended. So the police stood right out here in the street. Right out here in the street. Had their body cameras going. And they watching me go in and out that house every 10 to 15 minutes checking on my child. Every 10, bringing him to the door. So nonetheless, he give in, Paul Gonzalez, to his supervisors, Tanya T.A. N.Y.A. Johnson's demand to take my child. So I know this is not him doing this. I know it's her. I talked to her. He gave me the phone to try to talk some sense into her. I asked her to give me a reason. I told her a reason by definition, quote, a reason is a statement that explains to the reader, and I would like to include listener, why you hold a position, and to the reader, too, why you hold that position, unquote. And here I am quoting that to her, and I'm asking her, Miss Johnson, give me a factual reason why I should allow my child to be son to my mom. He gave him this. My child belongs to God. I'm just his parent. I'm just to raise him up for God. Now give me a legal reason as to why I should place my child and my wife's child with my mother. Why would I do that? Just give me a reason. She couldn't do it. She got to telling me if we'll see when we go to FBI, we can get my other phones and go to those apps and listen to what was being said. And then, and the doorbell cameras. But here we go. She was saying something like to give her time to conclude an investigation. Look, man, that's not a legal reason for me to give put my child into my mother's custody. This is what they're telling me. Evidently they was gonna come get him the next day anyway. All right, that's what they was gonna do anyway. So that was a trap anyway. Probably had me signing something and then took him from her. And I wouldn't even know nothing about it. That's what they wanted. That's a baby. Babies are worth a whole lot in CPS. They know what's going. I know what's going on now. You're not dealing with a damn fool. Babies. And mine not only handsome, you ought to see what they be saying. Oh, he's so adorable. He's so gorgeous. He's so brilliant. That's what I'm picking up on why. Now, if he'd have been an ugly ass baby or whatever, or stupid and crazy and cry, my child don't cry. He will cry when he's hungry. Other than that, he don't cry. If he has to use the restroom, he just sits there quietly. God sent me a very intelligent child. Now, keeping this 25 minutes. But because I'm going to go to the FBI, I'm not going to play with anybody about what God gave me. I suffered in life. God is blessing me. You going to take a blessing from me? No. On a lie? And going forward to hospital under, what's that, Homeland Security Act, 9/11, the hospital got the videos. They have to record under Texas Medical Records Act. If my wife, for example, had told them that she was here in Boston, they have to record that in the room. And the videos that the woman that come to court lying, nothing she said in court is the same as what we see in my videos. Before they can deprive my wife of me of my right, you have to get those videos. Well, then you just give me my child back. You have to have proof, not just mere clear and convincing evidence, but even clear and convincing evidence. That shows you committed perjury. No one coming out with pressure speech or coming out, excuse me, ma'am, please, thank you. That's what you hear me saying. You don't hear me acting a damn fool. There was no reason to act a fool. I'm not gonna act a fool with you. You showed your authority. Now watch what I do. When I leave and walk out my door and go to his police department, file a criminal complaint against that hospital. Had the police not got here just when I was getting ready to leave, and I was going to go to the FBI and file a complaint against them for kidnapping of my wife. Under Texas law, it is a crime under federal law, Title 18 USC, Section 242. Google it. It is a crime for prison officials just to write a concoct false report and present it against a prisoner in a disciplinary proceeding. Like one federal judge pointed, put it to him. This is not action filed by an inmate under Title 42 USC Section 1983 alleging a deprivation of civil rights. This is a action filed by the United States government through the office of the United States Attorney alleging conspiracy and deprivation of rights secured by the Constitution. So this is why the FBI has jurisdiction to get Judge Phillips in jail and in prison, because he has willfully, that's an element, deprived me and my wife of rights secure, just like in the prison disciplinary proceeding, right? Making false statements. That's what Savannah has done. That's what they've all done. That's what they are. Now, with this going all over the world, my family and Congress say, okay, yeah, he's not stupid. He understands how this game works. When he presents this to the FBI, they have a duty to conduct an investigation, because if it's a crime against their under oath, that's their duty to investigate him. Now, I have just stated under perjury what the elements are that constitute the crime. Judge Phillips, the first crime he committed was allowing his name, because that's not his. Judge Phillips signed or execute. Let me use strict. This is why I say law. I act like. Let me use different terminology here. Just for purpose of Texas law, it defines what a signature is, or a sign. Now, Judge Phillips, I'm gonna use the word executed. When he's execute an order, which is a ruling. So let's understand a ruling is entered into what we call an order. Then you want to know what an order is. An order is a command. It is okay. Judge Phillips, when he executes a ruling that's been put into an order, paper, written, he does not write for where it says name, J, capital JOHN, F, period, Phillips. He doesn't do that. He just he scribbles JP. That's what he does. When he executes an order or maybe judgment, I don't know. This is what I see. When I see that there's been a crime committed, I'm seeing what we call a facsimile signature. I'm seeing what we might call a rubber stamp signature. When you study up on it as I have, you will find that the court coordinator has access, and CPS might have their own, because when they have done something, committed a crime, Justice Phillips is the judge to go to when they've committed a crime for protection. CPS, we didn't win in this man's house in violation of the Fourth Amendment, in violation of Gates versus Texas Department of Family and Protective and Regulatory Services, 537 F 3D, page 404, Fifth Circuit, 2008, decided on July, or rather filed on July. The opinion was filed. It could have been sitting up being polished when they, and the author of the opinion, I think President Clinton, former President Clinton appointed this judge in that opinion. And so it was filed. This is what the Fifth Circuit said. The courts of Texas had no jurisdiction, people. This is why the FBI got to go get my child, because once the Fifth Circuit, the federal courts are declaring the law of the land, whether it be the Fourth Amendment, whether it be the Fifth Amendment, the First Amendment, and their rulings,